In the movie A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise says, "I want the truth." And Jack Nicholson, who's playing opposite of him, replies, "You can't handle the truth." It's a famous line, but it's famous for a reason, because it's true. You say you want the truth, but if you were really searching for the truth, how often have you challenged your own beliefs? Not someone else's beliefs, but your own beliefs. When was the last time you admitted that you were wrong about something that actually mattered? Most of you don't want the truth. You want comfort. You want to be accepted. You want safety. And that's why you can't handle the truth, because the truth is uncomfortable, and finding the truth will always start with you. Before information becomes knowledge, that information is filtered through you. Your biology, your level of intelligence, your upbringing, your culture, your biases. You don't see reality as it is. You see reality through you. You can have perfect information, accurate facts, but so what? It doesn't matter. How many people read the same exact data and come to completely different conclusions? Because having facts doesn't mean you'll come to what is true. Because the problem isn't the information. It's the filter. It's you. All of it. Like I said, your biology, your intelligence, your upbringing, your culture, your biases, all of it is your self-knowledge. And it is impossible to reach what is true about the world if you don't know what is true about yourself. This is why we avoid self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is not just self-awareness. It is the awareness of that which corrupts our own ability to reach what is true. There are certain truths that cause people to have a hyper-emotional reaction. For example, if I were to explain to someone the concept of gravity before it was widely accepted, you might get some eyebrow raises and skepticism, but it is very unlikely that you will get a very strong emotional reaction from it. But if you tell someone based on what you've seen and what the person told you, that their parents are abusive and that cutting them out of their lives might be the best choice for their psychological well-being, many people will just lose their fucking minds. Why? Why is that, right? It's not because it isn't true. It's because of what accepting that truth would mean and what it will cause them. Let me tell you about my mother, okay? I remember confronting my mother about how she raised me and the wrong that was done to me as a child. Her response was to deny everything I said. And then she told me how good I had it compared to starving children in Africa and laughed about it. And that hurt. That truly hurt me. But I felt that something wasn't right. Something was off. So I began to ask her about her childhood to see if my assumptions were true. And they were. She was raised brutally. Her mother was emotionally distant and dismissive of her feelings and concerns when she was a child. Her father was abusive. He would tie her brothers by the wrists, hang them, beat them, and just leave them there hanging. Her father was also an unapologetic cheater, consistently cheating on her mother with other women. And of course, this had a devastating impact on my mother. Ultimately, my mother married an abuser like her father and did a horrible job raising me and my siblings. Why? Because she lacked self-knowledge. She could not be honest about her father being an abuser or about what was done to her as a child. When I told her that her father was an abuser, she had a hyper-emotional reaction. And she told me never. Never. My father was not an abuser. So understand this. Whatever you excuse and allow in others, you will excuse and allow in your own life. Deep down inside, we already know what is true. We just don't like where that truth may lead us. Maybe it's a breakup with a family member. Maybe it's ending friendships. Or maybe it's going to shatter your worldview. Truth is like a domino effect. Once the first lie falls, everything built on it or everything built around it begins to collapse. Because once you admit the truth, your conscience demands consistency. It will demand that you live in reality and deal with what is and not what we pretend things to be. Why do you think Jesus said he came not to bring peace, but a sword? Father will be divided against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. This is the cost of truth. Truth divides families because it exposes what is false. It exposes what is evil. Not what is evil in theory, but what is evil in behavior, what people actually do, their decisions and actions. And look, I understand the journey to self-knowledge is hard. I would know this firsthand. People avoid self-knowledge like minefields. Once you step on one, you're dead. Yeah, that old you is dead, is gone. The emotional reaction that people have to the truth is because they already know what is truth deep down inside. They know the domino effect that will follow if they accept it. The emotional reaction isn't confusion, it's fear. Think about the last time the truth made you angry and why. People admire heroes. People who tell the truth and follow it no matter where it leads and no matter what the cost. But what happens when a child is being abused and tells the truth? You would think that the adults would finally step up and save the child from the abuser. But statistically, that doesn't happen. Instead, they attack the child, not the abuser, because the child exposes them for what they are, which is cowards. If they were honest about their fear, they would find ways or another way to protect the child. But without self-knowledge, they attack the truth teller. Self-knowledge makes you aware of your own corruption. And once you see it clearly in yourself, you start recognizing it everywhere that it exists. Knowing this doesn't mean that you can change people. It just means you accept the fact that you can't. Ultimately, if you want to reach what is true, you must first understand what is true about yourself. What lies are you telling yourself? We all know what the lies are. But the question is, are you going to have the courage to admit that and face those lies? Because if you lie to yourself, how do you expect to be free? You're a slave. You're a slave to your own self-deception. And our capacity for self-deception is limitless. If this made you feel uncomfortable, good. That's good. Because freedom isn't about building comfort. It's about purpose, courage, and truth. And that's the blueprint to freedom. Link down below in the description.